Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's going to be Deal or No Deal, Deal Wheel for this video. This is a Scorpion 4 technology Deal or No Deal machine. Most of the DONDs are on Scorpion 5 or later, but some of the earlier ones were on Scorpion 4. And this is one of them. It started life as a £35 jackpot machine, later got an upgrade, if you can call it an upgrade, to a £70 jackpot. Now, I do believe there was something on the £35 version of this, or certainly on the earlier chips of the £35 version. There was some shenanigans that you could get up to with the deal wheel game. I think if you just let it time out or something, it would always pick the value for you on the wheel, but that got chipped out. Certainly by the time I think it got to a £70 jackpot, there was nothing on it that I am aware of anyway. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I only ever saw two of these over here. They were both on a £70 jackpot. One of them was in Douglas, which is not really where I go out anyway. I just saw it through the window of a pub, so that wasn't particularly of interest to me. And there was one in Ramsey, and I did play it a couple of times. I think the first time I played it, it gave me a go all the way. Second time I played it, it was clearly just blocking at like £3 or £4, not opening the game up or anything. So I didn't really get involved with it. Point being, it's not a machine that I've had a great deal of experience with in real life, as it were. That's kind of what it looks like there. And we've also got a little video of it. So somebody else's video, this is not my video, of what the deal wheel feature looks like, because it is quite different to a normal deal or no deal feature. And if you're not familiar with it, I'll just go through here what it looks like. Now, in essence, this is a guy playing his own machine here in his games room by the looks of it. What happens is when you get your three DOND icons, you can see there, and we've got one on the classic layout here, when you get your three DOND icons, you start this deal wheel feature. What you do is you press the big button in the middle there, it spins the reel round, and as you can see, before it stops spinning, it darkens all three segments, and then you then have three buttons to choose from. And if you reveal a cash value or streak icons, it adds the cash and the streak icons to the matrix. But if you hit a bankrupt square, you lose the lot. That is it. It's the feature over, and you lose everything that's in the bank. Now, he's actually on a go all the way board here, so he can't lose. It's never going to put a bankrupt behind one of those little panels. And I was, even though I never really played this machine much, I was slightly intrigued by the deal wheel feature, because it is rather different to the normal deal or no deal feature that we're used to. You know, with the boxes, where it spins the reel, it puts something in the box. In fact, we'll go back to that there. You know what it's like in a normal deal or no deal machine? It spins the reel in the box, it hides the box so you don't know what it is, and you play the deal or no deal game down, and you can either deal at any point to get what value you have, or you can no deal all the way down and reveal what is in your box. The difference with this, of course, is that the value of, as it were, of the deal or no deal game is not kind of fixed, and it can't be controlled per se, because if you have a look here, it cannot make it so that you have a no-win scenario on the wheel. If you have a look there, and you can see it in attract mode, you can see that it's only got two bankrupts on the entire wheel. It's only got two bankrupt squares, and there are actually three slots that are available to you, because you always get all three positions to pick from. When you're on the wheel game, you spin the wheel, it always gives you all three buttons to choose from. That means that it can't put a bankrupt behind every single segment. There will always be a correct choice. And having looked at it a little bit more closely now in the emulator, it can't even put, as far as I can see, it can't even put two of them behind there at once. Because if you have a look, because of the position of the two bankrupt segments on the wheel itself, it can't put both of them in play at once. That means that when you are on the wheel, there are going to be, worst case scenario is there are going to be two good choices and one bankrupt. It can only actually make, as it looks to me here, it can only make one out of the three choices a bankrupt. However, what it can also do, because of the way the values on the wheel are laid out, it can make all the amounts fairly paltry. So you've got like a £1 and a £2 and a bankrupt or something like that. So you would have to pick an awful lot of them correctly to be able to get yourself out to the £70 jackpot. But theoretically, once you're on the deal wheel, you can get a jackpot out of it every single time if you can choose correctly. And that's quite different to the traditional deal or no deal game, of course, whereby it can put a tenner in the box and, you know, the offers are never much more than, you know, 10, 11, 12 pounds or whatever. So it can kind of control it more in a way that it can't do on this. So I've got the £70 one on the right hand side here. So let's just have a little go of it and see if we can kick the feature off. I'm hoping that it should be reasonably happy to put us into the feature, because if we look at the long-term stats on this, it's not had a huge amount of cash through. It's had a few hundred quid through it, but it is running a little bit behind percentage, so I would rather hope that it will give us the deal wheel. 3 in view only starts the actual feature. You need to then get 3 donned icons once you're on the feature to get into the wheel itself. Press hold 1 to activate banking. Well, I'm not fussed about that.
It's not going well.
Oh dear, that doesn't.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Noel. So first things first. Don't fancy that.
The roller coaster comes off the rail.
The first order of business here is just to get the feature, and then we can see it play out. And I'm sure we all know how this plays out, but we'll have a look at it nonetheless. I'm gonna. Oh, bugger off! It should be. And you know, on a pound ago, they're a bit frantic. I mean, if you compare these with, I mean, the last video where I was doing Infernator, what the fuck is Inferno Gladiator, and Wild Zone? You know, I'm how much have I put through it? I've put 20 quid through already. And there we are. Right, we've got the deal wheel. Right, that's fine. So we've got our 3 icons. So that then now makes our deal or no deal game active. So I mean, there's not really much point going around the board. We'll have a couple of spins, and then we're going to take the deal wheel feature. So we can see what happens. We press the big button here. It has a spin, and then it darkens out, and then we have to pick something. So we'll just go. So there we are. That's 7 quid for start. Now you can see there, none of them are actually a lose. That's the other thing, of course, about this, is it doesn't cheat. Like all the other deal or no deal machines where you just have the single value, you know, where what is in your box is in your box and it will reveal it and it won't cheat you. There is some talk, by the way, that the newer betcoms are a bit less honest about it and will show you that apparently they show like Mega Streak or Jackpot far more often than I think people are believing that is what was in there. Deal or no deal, all of the deal or no deals and deal wheel, as far as I'm aware, do not do that. They are all fair insofar as when they reveal your box, or in the case of this, when it reveals the wheel, you are honestly seeing what was behind there. Now, if you've been watching these values come up, you will know that up to now, it hasn't actually given me a duffer. I haven't had a bankrupt yet, so it's quite happy to let me get this far. It hasn't made any effort to kill me off. It hasn't given itself the opportunity to kill me off, so it's certainly happy for me to have 24 quid, because it hasn't put a bankrupt behind here yet.
It's okay.
Value, see, that's a bit of a mean one value-wise. My best pick there was 2 quid, and bearing in mind that the jackpot is 70 quid. Oh, but it was prepared to put a 15 quid behind there, so the machine is fairly happy. Now, when I was playing the real thing, I think I'm not even sure I ever had a normal feature that wasn't. Oh, and there we are. But you see that bankrupt straight away. I hit the bankrupt, and I think, you know, most people would start to get a little bit twitchy at 25, 30 quid. Would you try and push it out all the way? Realistically, what are your chances of getting it all the way? Because a 1 in 3 chance, you could potentially have to do another, God, at £2 a go, you could potentially have to do another 15 or 20 picks to get to the jackpot. And you, out of a 1 in 3 chance, you are going to hit a bankrupt at some point. So it always had kind of occurred to me how this one worked under the hood and how tightly protected, if you will, that deal wheel game was. But of course, with only the real machine to test it on, how would you know, who's going to put that much money into a real machine to test any theory? Plus, of course, on the real machine, you can't see what's behind those panels anyway. So what I have done is this, that you can now see on the right hand side. I have created myself a bespoke version of the layout. Well, I say bespoke version, I've got to be honest, I kind of went into the wheel properties and just clicked on things and changed things until it went like this. My apologies to Reg here, because of course these are Reg classic layouts and he's done a fantastic job. I think that he's kind of in a league of his own when it comes to classics, I think, Reg. And this is a fantastic classic. I love the way he's done the wheel and the lamping. I know Wizard has put a lot of new stuff into the emulator. I think that this one has needed, from memory, I think this one was actually waiting for MFME V6 because there was some real shenanigans that needed doing in the emulator to get this wheel working and the lighting working in the wheel. But Reg has used that new functionality really well to create a fine classic layout. So my apologies to Reg here, because I have kind of butchered it a bit and I could have probably done a tidier job than this. But it did achieve what I wanted to, which is we can see the wheel all the time. Now, it's had a few £100 through it and it's ever so slightly below percentage. So let's just put to our per session stats. And what I'm going to do here, and I don't know how this is going to work out, by the way, this is kind of a £70 version of what I did on Crisscross Cash, that Ace machine where it had the fair play high-low reel, where I wanted to see what would happen if you could see into the high-low reel when the machine didn't want you to see what was in there. Could you empty the machine? Now the answer to that was no, you could not empty the machine, because eventually it just tightened up to the extent that, let's just check when £1 to go, it just tightened up to the extent that it would simply charge you £4 or £5 for a win, and it could control its percentage, so that even if you were like completely cheating it and you could see the contents of the fair play high-low reel on every single gamble, therefore you could take every single win out to the £3 repeater, it would still control itself to the extent that you couldn't empty it, because it would just start costing more than £3 for a win. So what I'm going to do here fundamentally is exactly the same thing on DOND deal wheel. I'm going to see if I can take out £70 jackpots for less than the cost of £70. That is what I am going to try and do here. Because as we all know, and I've said this before, an emptier is when you can consistently take more money out of a machine than you are putting in. And what I am curious to find out here is, will this thing clam up to such an extent that it is prepared to take more than £70 to activate the deal wheel? Because we are going to be able to take, anytime we get the deal wheel, because we can see where it's going to start putting the bankrupts, we can take every single deal wheel feature out to a £70 jackpot. And what I want to find out is, will this machine be prepared to climb up to the extent that it's going to cost more than £70 to get the deal wheel feature activated? It's just a bit of fun. I'm not particularly trying to prove anything. It's just it was something that popped into my head when the layout originally came out. It was like, you know what, I'll get round to doing that at some point, because that would be interesting. So now I'm going to do it on this video. And the reason I think it might work is I know that some deal or no deal machines historically have had a maximum amount that they will take before they activate the feature. I think Desert Island Deal is one of them. I can't remember, I've got to be honest, I can't remember the exact figure. But it was something like it would always open up the game within £48 or something, even if it was on its arse. There was actually an amount, a maximum amount that it could take before it would open up the deal or no deal game. Now the difference, of course, with the traditional DONs that don't have the deal wheel is they could kind of control the value in the game to a far greater extent than Deal Wheel can, because it could just put a mid-sized box in, it can just put a 10, 15 pound box in, eliminate the boxes and control the offers down in such a way that the total value out of the board is not going to be more than, say, 15 quid. Deal Wheel can't do that, because once the feature is activated, and what we're doing here will guarantee us the 70 quid.
Fantastic.
So it can't protect itself
Take the next ones. Come on.
on the board, on the Deal Wheel feature itself. It cannot protect
Take the next
itself
one. Come on.
from us taking the mega streak out, certainly the £70 jackpot, or the mega streak out of it.
It's
And
not
that
going
being
well.
the case, the only other thing it can do is charge more than 70 quid to get the Deal Wheel feature open. That's the only thing it can do then.
Take the next ones. Come on.
Oh, God, it's dicking us about though. That's the only thing it can do
Take the next
to
ones. Come on.
prevent us from getting 70 quid off the
not
Deal
going
Wheel every single time, and therefore effectively emptying it. It has to start charging more than 70 quid to get the Deal Wheel open, and I am just curious to see if it will go into that state where it's going to be prepared to charge more than 70 quid for the Deal Wheel, which would make it a fairly awful proposition to play, isn't it? And this is something that I've always said about the Deal or No Deals, the other ones, because I know players really like them, because there are, you know, they've all been so doable, they've all had so many methods and tricks and traps and emptiers on them and God knows what else, and players love them because they can make money out of them. I think On a Bucket said on one of his videos that as far as he's aware, there hasn't been a single Deal or No Deal machine that hasn't had something on it at some point. They've all been doable. But the problem with that is that for anyone who doesn't know what they're doing, anyone who doesn't know the tricks or the emptiers or the traps, they are going to have a really awful experience on Deal or No Deal machines. That's going to risk a gamble there. It's going to be like the Deal or No Deal feature doesn't exist, because the machine will simply never open it up. It's like for some casual punters, the Deal or No Deal feature on many Deal or No Deal machines, certainly the older ones, I think they've changed them now a bit because they control themselves far more tightly, but the older ones, it was like the Deal or No Deal feature didn't even exist. I know there was a mega DOND in a pub here that somebody was definitely on. There was definitely somebody on it, and I played that machine several times. And every single time I played it, it was absolutely on its arse. I would only ever try a few pounds through it, because you know when a Deal or No Deal machine is dead. But without fail, it was kind of, you know the boards where it's blocking at 3 or 4 quid. It never opens up the Deal or No Deal board. It never gives you any of the streaks. And a machine that can be perpetually left in that state by players, whilst it's nice for the players, for the casuals who have to kind of, fill the thing up, oh, we'll risk a gamble there, not so much fun. So let's just see what state we can get this one into. I mean, it's doing a fairly good bit of work already. We're kind of 40 odd pounds in, and we haven't had the wheel yet. I've had a couple of gambles at it, but no, streak.
Hello.
I mean, it's going to be really poor if it's prepared to take
It's not going well.
70 quid plus just to open up the feature. I mean, this is where you have to say that modern fruit machines have lost. I mean, how much am I? So that's okay. So that's 50 quid. I am now 50 quid in. So it doesn't look like. And this is just playing it normally. We haven't even taken the jackpot out of it, that it's not necessarily going to want to pay out. I mean, this was kind of on percentage. It was only a few pounds adrift in our favour. And I did, before I started doing this video, I did take a jackpot out of it because I wanted the machine to be not in too generous a mood going into it, but I wasn't. Okay, can we get a... No. So what's that? That's 55 quid. Okay, well, we are kind of answering this one already, aren't we? So that's now over £60 in. And we haven't had the Deal Wheel feature yet. It's been prepared to offer us a streak, I think, hasn't it? Good God. Well, I think we might have answered this one already.
Hello.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it just doesn't bloody go all the way. So that's 65 quid now.
Deal.
Right, fucking hell. So, Okay, we now can do it, but I think I know the answer to my is it gonna be an empty? I think has kind of been answered already. I don't want to push this. There's no point pushing it. So let's just play the deal wheel. And let's have a look. So there we are now. Now we can see the value. So, and when you can see it like this, obviously I can always pick the best value. The other thing that you'll see there, and I never realised this when the couple of times that I saw a real one. Now and that's what I'm talking about. See there, I always thought that these bankrupts could cover 2 segments, and incidentally, it is trying to give me a bankrupt there. I always thought that these bankrupts could cover 2 segments simultaneously, but it turns out, oh God, it's not liking it there, is it? Another bankrupt. Turns out it can only actually cover 1 bankrupt at a time. Now, and it is doing what I said before, whereby it can make it so that all 3 values are pretty shit. It has put a tenner in there, but it can make it so that no pick is worth more than £2. So we'll have the 7 quid there. I'm just going to pick the best ones, just so that we can get it up as quickly as possible. Look at that again. I mean, there's no bankrupts there. So it did put a couple of bankrupts in earlier on, but is it going to have one on this? No. So I mean, it's put a £15-pounder in there, and it hasn't given us any bankrupts. So we're not far off now. It's going to be what, 61 quid? Yeah. Is it going to try and kill me off? Just no. Again, no. And that's going to be it. That's going to be a jackpot. So that's fine. So we've got our £70 jackpot. Not fancy me chances for a repeat here, I've got to say. So let's let that add in. We are going to get a repeat chance, but I can't see it.
Oh, how do you feel?
How do I feel? I feel absolutely gutted, Noel. So there we are.
Hello.
Well, I can't quite see this. Can't see this having much of anything in it, can you? Let's have a look what kind of mood it's in. So we have got back on. Oh, shall we go lower for more nudges? Yes, I think we know what's going to happen there if I go lower, don't we? So 1 for extra. I don't care about extra ready cash. I cannot imagine in a million years that that's going to kill us, isn't it?
This is horrible.
That is horrible, Noel. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do now is collect that £70 out. And that is, well, that's a really bad start, isn't it? Because that's going to be £70 out, but £67 in. So we've only actually won 3 quid. On the first one, we've only won 3 quid. Let's have a look at the long-term stats after I've collected this 70 quid out. Because I think this machine is going to be pretty much bang on percentage now. It only had a small drift in our favour before that. So let's have a look where we are up to. Let's just move to profit and loss. So £3 profit in our favour, and long term, now it is slightly over because this is set to 84%. So it's had 480 in, 410 out, but it's set to 84%. So the machine now wants to claw a little bit of money back. So what we're going to do now is go again. We're £3 up at this moment in time. So here we are, we're back in. I've got new per session stats. So let's put some money in. I think it's going to cost a fair bit now before it's prepared to offer the game. What I might actually do is just bang like 50 quid through it as quickly as possible. Maybe have a go at a feature after £30 in, then £35 in, £40 in, and so on, because I think it's going to take a little while before it's prepared to do anything. So that's a tenner gone already. I mean, I'll give it at least £20 before we get on the board. I honestly don't think there's any point going. Hold for feature, but who honestly thinks that this is going to open up the board here? Because I certainly don't. Trail dash, I'm sure that will be dutifully avoiding the Don square. No.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
No, we can't even get it that way. It's just going to block it. It's going to block it. No, I don't want bank it. I'm not interested in bank it either. And it does. It's terrible for this. I'm sure it's worse than the other DONs, where It just loves to do this thing where it fills up.
Unlucky.
It uses its spins. When it's in a bad mood, when it's arsey with you, it just uses that streak matrix as a way to dick you around, so it'll just bounce around on the streak matrix squares. Streak matrix squares, even when we all know there's absolutely no chance that it's going to offer you a streak. So, I mean, this is value for money, this, isn't it? Fucking hell. So that's £20 gone already. Let's put another tenner in, because I think this is going to be... I don't know, is this actually going to be 70 or more to open up the deal wheel? I think it may be. It's slightly over percentage. It didn't want to give it us last time, really. And I can go for hold after nudges on the 3 DON symbols, because that would, of course, open up the board at feature entry. I mean, the speed with which these things can rattle through money is just absurd. If anyone's wondering why the fruit machine is... Oh, I've gone higher than a 3 there. If anyone's wondering why the fruit machine is absolutely on its arse and nobody plays them anymore, I mean, you need to look no further than things like this, really.
Unlucky.
I think that's going to kill me.
Bad.
No, Noel has had me. Dog whispering bloody bastard. That's what he did. I mean, Noel did that, didn't he? I think he offered his services as a pet whisperer. I think after the whole deal or no deal thing, that was something that Noel Edmonds did. I think I'll Google that just to check that I'm not making it up. But I've got it in my head that was something that he has latterly offered. Is he'll ring you up and have a chat to your pet if it's upset about something. But that's the kind of thing that we should probably get some independent verification on, I think. Oh no, I thought it might have come in there.
Hello.
Well, 3 in view. I just need 1 more icon, so if it's been an arse about it, it's just not going to give me any nudges, because I only need 1 nudge to nudge that DON symbol down on reel 3. And of course, it's not going... Well, there's streak active. I mean, that to me is kind of like the first level of happiness on a DON. Is it offering the streak? Is it climbing? Then you've got, is it climbing past a 5er? Then of course you've got actually opening the game, which is often the last thing that it will do.
Are you feeling stressed?
Slightly stressed. No, continue. Okay.
Unlucky.
Unlucky, I think.
That is not the end.
Shush.
It's not going well.
It's just bouncing me from wrong. Is it actually landing on anything between these bloody question marks? It isn't. No. Oh, for God's sake.
We're 1 away from the...
Oh, go on. We'll fuck it. We'll have a... No, it wasn't going to have it, was it? We'll have a gamble. Okay. Now, remember as well, I think I had £2 of credits. Was it £2 or £3? I did have a few credits after I got the jackpot. So, the figure that you can see up there, which is, we're currently like, this is going to be, that's 50 quid. But I think this is going to be more like 52 quid or 53 quid since the last one. It doesn't really matter because we've got our stats. We know that we were 3 quid up after the first one. Okay. We know that we were 3 quid up after the first one. So it's just whether or not we can... Oh, come on. I'm going to go for higher than a 2. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't want me to have it, it will lose. Okay, so that's 50 quid gone. 50 quid gone in just a few minutes. Dreadful things. Right, so this is going to be 55. Now, remember it wanted... No, it wanted 67 on the first one. So this is going to be 60 quid now. So I think the question is pretty much answered already. There we are. I mean, theoretically, remember though, you only need, if you could make a guaranteed like 3 quid or 5 quid every time, I mean, I don't know, would it be worth it? Not really asked about streak icons. I mean, it'd take you a little while to empty it if you could only make, say,
It's fantastic.
£3 to go. I mean, there's blue streak. It's just really guarding the game, isn't it?
Give it a go.
Oh, I actually nudged the wrong one there. Yeah, just stay as blue. That's fine.
Are you feeling stressed?
No, it's super streak happy,
Comes off the rails.
but it is protecting that wheel for dear life. So that's going to be £65 of credits now. Surely it's got to open it up soon. Let's take that. 2 icons again.
Unlucky.
It's just not what it wants to have those DOND icons, is it? Yeah, higher than that. Oh, God almighty. Okay, that's 65 quid now. There's 65. Bloody hell. I'll take it one at a time. That's 66, 67. Fucking hell. 68. 69. Oh, we can get a ladder. Surely that'll give us. Surely a ladder superstar will give us 3 DOND symbols. Or not. Oh, there we are. Right, okay. Well, we're going to win a pound. We are going to win a big fat pound off this. So we can go. Oh, I'm not going to push it. Okay, you know what? Let's not bugger about. Let's just take the wheel. So it's cost us 69 quid to get the fucking wheel. And let's see how it plays now. So, so we are going to get another jackpot. We're going to be getting up the lofty heights of. We won 3 quid on the first one. We're going to win a pound on this. We're going to be 4 quid up. I'm not sure it's much of a money spin at this either way now. We got £10 off of there. Or a £10 choice. Hasn't put a bankrupt behind yet. Oh, crap values there. So it can definitely do it. So that the best value available to you is... There's a bankrupt. So it is trying to give me a bankrupt there at like, what was that, 18, 17 quid? Let's spin it again. No bankrupt that time, and we have got a tenner. So I'm going to go again, because it cost less than the jackpot value. I will be the first to admit, not much less than the jackpot value, but it did cost ever so slightly, there's the bankrupt, ever so slightly less than the jackpot value to get the wheel activated. So we will, there's another way, it is throwing these bankrupts in, isn't it? You know, something like most picks now, most picks have got a bankrupt in it, but it cannot kill me. It can't give me a no-win scenario. It cannot cover them with bankrupts. And there's, I guess one thing they possibly could have done is put a collect prize in there, something like that, so it could force a prize on you that way. But as it stands, the way it's laid out, if you can do this, if you know what's behind each of the 3 segments, you can always take it out to a jackpot repeater, although bugger all chance of the jackpot actually repeating, of course. There's 15, so that's going to take us right up. So there's our 70 quid. But if you look at the stats there, we're 69 quid. I'm going to have to put a pound in for the repeat as well, so it's basically going to be 70-70, isn't it? Let's face it. So let's collect that out, and then we'll get the repeat. So this is going to be 70 in and 70 out. That will push the machine more over percentage. What you've got to remember is that for us as the player, 70 in and 70 out is we haven't won. We've just got our money back. It's 100% payout. But for the machine, set on a target of 84%, this machine has just lost money on the deal. As the player, we're feeling a bit meh because we didn't win anything. We just got our money back. But the machine has lost on that £70 by putting £70 in and getting £70 out. The machine has lost because it isn't on a 100% payout.
Oh, how'd you feel?
It now has money that it needs to claw back. That is going to push the machine more over percentage. It's now running at 87% from its target of 84%. So what I'm going to do is reset it again, and we're going to go another time and see how much it costs to get that deal wheel open on a machine that is over percentage. Okay, ready to go again. I think this is probably going to cost a fair few bob now. Taking bets. Have a little bet with yourself. Is this going to cost more than 70 quid to get the deal wheel open? I don't know. I mean, it's clearly variable because it took 67 quid on the first one and it took 69 quid on the second one. I think it probably will take more than 70 quid now to get that deal wheel open. I think it will be prepared to take more than... You know what? I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to nudge away from it. I'm going to get maybe 50 quid in. I think I'll just rattle through 50 quid as quick as I can. I'll maybe take a board at 40, but I just can't believe for a second it's going to be prepared to open up the game. we'll have a spin around for the sake of argument, but it's just going to be on its arse now, isn't it? It's over percentage. It needs to take some money back. I mean, could have possibly had a gamble on that. Let's gamble for a super streak. No, it's going to kill us. Because one thing I think they do actually do, and one thing they are kind of programmed to do, is at least, I think they just like spinning cherries, or that they'll give you a win every like 10 to 15 quid. They will give you something, because I think they were aware that they have to have something going on for the player, as it were. For any player has got to feel that they've got half a chance of getting something. And because with this, you don't have to gamble to get on the board or anything like that. So cherries, all it needs to do is just spinning cherries, and you know, at least you're on the feature. At least you get to go around the board a little bit. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to offer you anything. Oh, there's a streak, so that's, you know, it's not extra red cash. No, it's not an absolute, unless maybe, I mean, it's possible that the streak pot is from a separate pot, but it is prepared to offer. Streak can be pretty crap. That can be like 7 or 8 quid, I think, streak, can't it? So obviously prepared to offer a little bit of something there, but I just can't. Yeah, I cannot imagine it doing 3 holds there. I think this is going to be £70 plus to get the deal wheel feature open again at this point. That's my feeling. It's already demonstrated that it's prepared to go 69, so we can say categorically now this thing is not an emptier. I think that's already answered. I'm just curious now to see how much. Oh, I'm gonna gamble.
Bad news.
Curious to see how much at the outer edges it will actually be prepared to take. I mean, that's 41. Let's put another 9 in. That'll take us up to 50. That is going to be 50. And I'm going to nudge away from that because I just don't think it's going to be there yet. I'll take another board at about 50 quid in and see what state it's in there. But realistically, I think we're going to be talking 70 plus, aren't we? Before it's so I will take a board. No, can't get 3 icons on the board. I guess the one, and I don't know if the go all the way just cycles round on this, if it's kind of completely separate from normal play. So I don't know if it could just throw a random go all the way in. Oh, fucking hell, he's taking a symbol off us. Don't know if it could just throw a random go all the way into fucking hell, into our that's a bear. There's your dead board. That's a proper £4 board, that one, isn't it? So that's 50. We're now going to take it up to 60. I will try and take a feature once we get to around the £60 in mark. Let's have a look. Okay, not quite yet. I will try and take it out to as close to 60 as I can get. Oh, there's... No, come on. No, not even giving us 2 holds on it. And there, no, again. Okay, so this is... That's going to be 65.
Hello.
There's our icons. Ooh. No, and let's just see how... Bearing in mind, it's just taken 60-odd quid in cold blood. Let's see how bad it's prepared to play. We've been offered £1 cash, and it's just dicked us around with the red streak squares. What features it? Oh my god! It's a £1 at the minute. This is a £1 board, £3 board, right? £4. Now it's going to have us, I think. Is it? Yeah.
Are you feeling stressed?
Oh, just shocking. Just shocking. So that's at 60 quid in. Imagine if you walked up to this machine and found it in this state. It'd just be awful, wouldn't it? The risk of repeating myself is no wonder people just stop playing these bloody things. Too big. £70 is too big. £35 was too big. £25 really was marginal. I think the last jackpot that made any sense on an amusement with prize machine was 15 quid. Really, I think they were better off with jackpots smaller than that. 70 quid, 100 quid, ridiculous. Far too much. Let's transfer to... No, I don't care about banker. I just need to land on a DOND icon. Yeah. Okay, higher than a 4, you say? No. Not in this game. And there we are. That is... Well, this is 69 again. 69. Is it going to be prepared to open that wheel at £69 in? It's just dicking us about on these street squares, isn't it? Look, oh, come on. Oh, just dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. So that's it. That is £70. You see there, in 70 quid. Fucking hell. So we are now, the whole, ooh, I wonder if this is an empty. That is long gone. That is now no longer. Oh, there we are! Just a little bit after. Just ever so slightly after. So, okay. Go for it. So we know that we're going to get our jackpot. Let's see how grumpy it is about it. Let's have a look.
Your box is hidden
15, good, that's good. So once you get the win, it's not trying to kill me off yet. It let me get to £25 and it hasn't put a bankrupt behind there. There's the first bankrupt. So that's the first crack it's had at getting it, at trying to kill me or being prepared to kill me. Which is quite interesting. So it seems to me that whenever it activates the wheel, it is, well, there's another one. It is prepared to have a little bit of value in it. It's not like it'll activate the wheel, but then it'll start trying to kill you off at a fiver. It seems that it opens the wheel when it's got maybe £20–25 of value in it, but it will protect it up until that point. Now, whether or not that's something deliberate, because Belfruit were thinking, well, what if someone gets up to some shenanigans with the wheel? So what we'll have, we'll pretend in a way that the wheel isn't able to shield its amount, and what we'll do is we'll just protect it in the code in such a way that the player cannot get an advantage via the wheel if they know what's behind the segments. Maybe that's how they approached it, but that means that the wheel's always got a chunk of value in it when you actually activate. I can't quite make it. It is chucking bankrupts in there. Will it put a bankrupt in there on £69? So that's actually, if I collected that, that'd round up to 70 quid anyway. And it still put a bankrupt in there on the last pick. Amazing. Right, okay. So there's another jackpot. And I have got, I was a little bit careless there. We have got £2 of credits in. So I'm going to have to put an extra 2 in. So that was actually, well, it was 73 in. It was actually 73 in for 70 out. And what I'll do is I'll just add the next 2 on to the next push. So let me just, I'm just jotting this down here. I'll make the numbers correct on my my bit of paper that I'm just using to record this. So that was actually, we'll call it what it is. We'll call it what it is there. We'll call it 75 in for 70 out, but we'll just remember, because I am going to go again now, because I'm curious to see what it'll do on the next one. Because what you've got to remember is, even though we lost on that, we lost a fiver. We put 75 quid in and got 70 quid out, but the machine is now more over percentage than it was before, because if you think about it, £70 is not 84% of 75. That is more than that. So the machine is now more over percentage than it was after the last time we pushed it out. So even though we as the player are now losing, we lost a fiver, we won ever so slightly on the first one, we broke dead even on the second one, and we've lost a fiver on the third one. But as far as the machine is concerned, it is getting more and more over percentage, because it is targeting an 84% payout. So I am going to go again, and we'll see for one last time how much it is prepared to charge to get that wheel open. Okay then, let's have another. There's the machine stats. It's running at 88% now. It is over. It is over percentage. It's going to want to be taking money off us, not paying any more out. So exactly the same thing again. Let's just get onto £1. There we are. We're just going to take it out again and see how much it costs to open up that deal wheel. In a way, I'm surprised it came as cheaply as it did, because it was what? It was 73 quid, wasn't it, to open up the deal wheel. I just did annoyingly have those extra couple of pounds worth of credits in there. But it was 73 quid to open up the wheel. So from a player perspective, we lost, but the machine is still losing.
Hello.
So that's going to be the world's most pointless feature, isn't it?
Hello.
Let's just out of curiosity. Oh, you know, I would have probably gambled on that.
Hello.
Just for a lap.
Deal
Oh!
or no deal?
Fucking hell, it's opened. It's opened the wheel.
Give it a go.
Well, I was not expecting that. Is that just something that can randomly cycle around or what? I really don't know. I would be the first to admit I am very, very surprised. Oh, and there's a bankrupt though. That's interesting, isn't it? That's really quite different behaviours. It's trying to bankrupt me fairly early on here. And quite aggressively at that. Well, now this is going to put it way over. This is going to put it... Oh, look at this. It's putting a bankrupt behind every single spin here. This is going to throw it way over percentage. So... Oh, look at this. It's bankrupt every step of the way, isn't it? I'm not very good at probabilities. Like, you can actually work out the probability, but if you say it would take you 25 gambles to fill it up and there was a 1 in 3 chance of losing on every single one, I think that statistically you're extremely unlikely to actually do it if you can't do what I'm doing here, which is see what's behind your little segments. Is it going to do one? Yeah. Oh, no. There's a tenner. So it was trying to kill me early doors, but it's still prepared to put tenors behind there, which is interesting. And no bankrupt this time. I'll have a Mega Streak box. I can't imagine that we'll actually get a Mega Streak out of it, but you can fill the matrix up. There's a bankrupt. Super Streak. Well, that was a bad. That was £1 or £1.50 on that. £2 and a Mega Streak. Okay. It's only filling in one little segment at a time, though. Oh god, £2 or there's 2 lots of £1.50 in a £2 box there. Okay, well, another Mega Streak. I need 4 more potentially though. Oh, there is one. It's just doing them one at a time though. I think it can fill in multiple ones, but £2 and a Mega Streak. That's going to be a streak.
It's fantastic.
It's possible we'll get a Mega Streak before we get a jackpot here. No, £2, and it's look at how many picks I have had to do to get this up, and it's not giving me any Mega Streaks here either. I mean, Super Streak, no. It's only Super Streaks there. I don't want blue icons. I want red icons. So it looks like it's going to be a jackpot. It's just there we are, 69. There was no bankrupt on that. Will it put a bankrupt behind on 69 quid? No, it won't. Oh, that's a shame. We only needed one more. Well, let's see if it adds 2. No, it would have added 2. Maybe it would have given us a Mega Streak. Well, that's very surprising. I am really, really surprised by that. Oh, that's a shame. We've got like 8. I was banging the credits in because I didn't believe for a second. I've got to be honest with you. I didn't believe for a second that it would come that cheaply. So we've gone a little bit over there, but it's still going to be a handsome profit on this one, isn't it? Oh, we can't, believe it or not, there isn't, well, I say believe it or not, obviously there isn't an icon up there. So that is going to be 19 in for 70 out. So we're now actually tidily in profit. And this machine is going to be way over the top in percentage. That's going to put it way over 90%, I think. Well, it's definitely, it's going to be more like, let's have a look. It's going to be more like 93 or 94% this will be at. Let's have a look when we collect that bank out, what it's running at now. Ooh, my word, it's way adrift. Why did it open up the deal wheel then? That is so surprising to me. And we're now at, what's the machine at? The machine is at 96%. Bloody hell. And we won 51 quid on this. So just give you... So we won 3. We broke even. We lost 5. And now we've won 51. So that's 54. So we're actually £49 up at the moment. We are £49 up. The machine is way, way, way behind. I think we've got to go again now, haven't we? We can't leave it like this. So let's have... 1 more of these. Let's see what happens now. It's gonna have to go rabid. Surely now it's so far over. It's way, way behind. It's running at 96% and it's 80 quid behind target. So it's fully now a jackpot and more out of whack. This has got to go on a correction now. It's long-term stats now. It's almost paid as much out as it's had into it. How much is the next deal wheel going to cost? Okay, so we're going to go into this one £49 up. We are £49 in profit, and we've gone through this 4 times now. I am slightly stunned that it gave us the deal wheel for like 15 quid in. In fact, it was less than 15 quid in on the last one, wasn't it? About £13, something like that, which to me is really quite surprising. This has got to be, surely it's got to be in apocalypse take mode now. I can't, it's going to have to be blocking at 4 quid on the board. No streaks, no wheel, no nothing. But we'll see, because it really surprised me last time. It caught me off guard last time. I was not expecting it to open up the wheel. Let's see what it does. I'll rattle through as quick as I can. There's a £1 win, which it does do. It does just throw them in. It's just... Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Didn't see what the message was. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, and we're getting our little streaky, dicky things going on. There's a symbol. It wasn't going to happen, really, was it? Let's just blast through here. So that's our £10 block. Let's put another tenner in. There we are. I mean, I think I was saying quite confidently, I'll just rattle through this as quickly as possible, because it's not like it's going to open up the wheel. And then it did.
Hello.
And it is giving us the... I don't want to, spend too much time spannering around with features that just aren't going to pay anything. I mean, yeah, we'll be prepared to do that all day, won't it?
It's not going well.
Oh, now that was a bad board. The only thing we were offered there was triple shot. We didn't even get a single cash value offered. The only thing we got offered was triple shot. So this is going to be an interesting push, because the machine is just so far... Yeah, no 3 holes there. The machine is just so far behind. I mean, it really needs to be taking now like £100 and more. And that still won't put it anywhere close. I mean, it's like 80 quid adrift. It needs to take £80 back and not pay anything out to get itself on percentage. Unfortunately, it's not wildly well settled down in terms of long-term stats, this machine. It's only had a few £100 through it from a factory reset. Unfortunately, I haven't got the autoplay set up on this and used it, which is my fault. I should have done, but I just thought I'd grab the opportunity to get this video done while I had it. I mean, I am fully expecting this to be in a vile mood now. I mean, the machine knows it's over percentage, so it knows what it's got to do. It's just, is it going to be prepared to do it? I mean, it's not going to be. I'm not. Let's try. Let's go for a... Oh, well, I can nudge the feature in anyway. Well, that's just how I go for a hold after nudges there, which is not what I did. I mean, they do try and tend to give you a feature every tenner, every £10, something like that. But I mean, it doesn't have to be. It's a red £1.20 for it. No.
Unlucky.
So it's pretty. It's in a pretty. Is it actually blocking at 2 quid at the moment? Have I been offered more than 2 quid on any of these features? I'm not entirely sure. I have. And I will go for the holds for the DOND feature if I can. So this is now coming up to 40 quid. This is £40. It really is. Sorry, that was £40. This is now the 40 to £50 block. It's just going in so fast now. You can see the current session stats. Of course, they are real-time stats, so you can see how I'm doing. My God, this machine is doing a piece of work now, isn't it? That is just shy of 50 quid. Streak. Let's hold one for extra fruit. Not quite sure what you get if you actually fill the ladder up. Cash. No, well, we'll avoid it, I suppose. We'll do it like that. Let's have a look. See what it's prepared to do. No, and that is a game over. So that is the £50 block done. Let's go from 50 to 60. I honestly think it is going to have to go on a clawback now. It's got no choice. It's just going to have to go pretty rabid. But I will start going for the feature now a little bit more proactively, because it's possibly getting up into the point where it will be prepared to offer the wheel. So this is now the £60 to £70 block. And it's still in a foul mood. There's 3 in view. So we'll have a go at the feature, because... Oh, there we are. Oh. No, 1, 2, 1. So it's not letting us have it on a gamble, that's for sure. Can we get... Is it up there? No, it isn't quite. Not quite enough, so... I will go for it properly, though. Oh, dear. On every feature, because it might be getting close. Oh, there's a 5. I think that's the first time it's been prepared to offer a 5er. There's game over. So, let's go again. This is... we'll hold them. Is it there?
Hello.
It is! So that's less than 70 quid. That is actually less than 70 quid. It's let us get the wheel again off less than 70 quid. This is starting to get...
Your box is hidden behind the
there. This is starting to get a little bit surprising, isn't it? I thought it would be guarding it more than that at this point. Bearing in mind that it's over percentage. I'm well over percentage now. So what I'm going to go is go for the little Mega Streak segments as well. Because if we can get a Mega Streak off it, that would be nice. Yeah, there's another Mega Streak segment. And I think as ever, I keep just putting in a few too many. Oh, there's another Mega Streak. Before, I was just going for the highest cash value. I am actually going to go for the Mega Streak segments now, if it's prepared to offer the Mega Streak segments. I mean, it shouldn't really delineate between the two, because Mega Streak is the same as a jackpot repeater as far as neither of them have to go past 70. But it's not giving me the little cheeses there. It's certainly thrown in a few bank rubs, but it's not giving me the Mega Streak cheeses.
Your box is hidden behind good one.
I mean, we'll get the matrix filled. There's the matrix filled up, but I need the little Mega Streaks. Is that going to land? Yeah, it's avoiding the Mega Streak now, unfortunately. But we are going to make a... should have gone for 7 quid there. We are going to make a slight profit on this one, which again surprises me. It's just avoiding these Mega Streaks like the plague now, isn't it? Not letting us have them at all. No, £2. Though it isn't putting bank rolls behind there every time either. Super Streak. Does that give me a choice? Oh, add nothing. Yeah, so I can't turn it into a red one. So, there's a Mega Streak. Yeah, well, of course I want you to add a red symbol. Why would I not want you to add a red symbol? I guess if you had the streak active and you didn't want to get rid of the streak, maybe.
Good one.
That was the wrong thing to go for there, wasn't it? Let's have another go. Is that a Mega Streak? Yes, we have. So 2 more Mega Streaks will actually give me a Mega Streak now. And it's using those bank rubs quite a lot. But we are going to turn... Oh, there we are. We are going to turn another profit on this one. 1 more Mega Streak chunk, and we will actually have the Mega Super Streak. Let's have a look. Where's the Mega? Oh, no Mega. I'm actually going to pick the lowest values there, just to give us a few more spins on the wheel. Super Streak. I've got to get at least a 5er there. For some reason, I don't know why, but it does look like it's just not prepared. It's just not prepared to give the Mega. I don't know why. It does appear to be guarding the Mega for no readily apparent reason. I'll try it like that. I have nothing, but we are, of course, we're going to max it out, and it is going to auto-collect. It's just not doing it, is it? It is going to auto-collect as soon as we get to 70. Let's try again. Last chance to get the Mega. And it hasn't done it. So we are going to have to take a straight jackpot. And that, again, is less than 70 quid. That is very surprising. Let's have a look. I mean, not much less than 70 quid.
Oh, how'd you feel?
Let's have a look. And I did actually have, I had a few odd credits in there, which is slightly silly. But then, once more, that is 70 in for 70 out. So that means that we are still £49 up. We're still £49 in profit, but the machine is now more over percentage than it was before. I think that's going to get it on for about a 100% payout, is it? Something can't be a million miles off now. So it doesn't seem to be protecting the wheel quite as well as it should be. What payout is it at now? It is at, 96.6% it's now running at, and it's more adrift after that than it was before. I think in the interests of this experiment, we're going to have to go again. we're going to have to go again on this one, because the most it cost us for the wheel up to now is 72 or 73 pounds. Either way, it just doesn't seem to have been prepared to say, you know what, you're not having the wheel for 100 quid or 110 quid or 120 quid or whatever it may be. It's always an absolute worst case scenario seems to be about the £70 in mark. I think I'm going to have to go again and see if it just keeps offering the wheel for 70, 72, 73 quid in, which is ultimately, it's not an emptier because we're not winning, but this machine is getting more and more over percentage. So here we are, back with a fresh set of stats. I've just glanced at my Bandicam window. This is over an hour long already. I'm not going to video the whole thing. I will bring you back when the deal wheel feature is open. Right, this machine is really in a foul mood. This is the 60 to 70 pound chunk of cash now, and the whole thing has just been dreadful. It hasn't gone past £4, it hasn't opened a streak, certainly hasn't opened the game. It really does now seem to be compensating very, very heavily, like it knows what situation it's in, and the code is saying, you know, I've had it. In fact, that's the first time I've been offered a fiver. That's over 60 quid in, and that is the first time that I have even been offered a fiver. And there we are. So you have never seen a machine scythe through 60 odd quid like this just has. What's that going to be? Oh, but there's the wheel! But there's the wheel! Once more at the high 60s.
Give it a go.
It's thrown the wheel in again. Maybe. Oh, so you tell me what's going on with this. I mean, it's not an emptier. We're not going to make any money out of this, really, because it's costing us, you know, high 60s, low 70s, but
good one.
it just keeps bringing the wheel in at about the same point. So we know this is going to be a jackpot. I will make a vain effort to get the Mega Streak. I think, by all accounts, for some reason, it just doesn't like you to have the Mega Streak. But that's going to be another 70 quid. Let's have a look how much we are in for that. No, it's okay. There's the bankrupts. It is starting to lob the bankrupts in now. Super Streak. We'll have to go for that. I don't know quite what's going on here. It seems to me that it isn't controlling this deal wheel feature as well as it should be. It's just, I don't know if the coders just thought, no, it's fine, we can rely on random chance. Nobody's going to be able to gamble it out to the jackpot every single time. They're just not going to be able to guess correctly that many times. All we need to do is start lobbing in the bankrupts, and if they keep going, they are going to hit one of them. But I mean, what other explanations have we got at this point? Because it just keeps doing it. Well, there we are. That's the jackpot. There is our 70 quid. Once again. So you tell me what's going on here. And I think I've actually got, once again, I've put in slightly too many credits, so that is, I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's all one continuous session for us. It doesn't really matter that I've gone over by £4 on this one, and then I'll go under, effectively, by £4 on the next one. Just thought I'd have a cheeky gamble there. So that is going to be, because it's all for us, it's all effectively one continuous session. It doesn't actually affect the overall stats. So that was 70 in for 70 out. Although I guess with these pounds, these few pounds going one way or the other, where I've just put a few too many credits in, I think we can kind of say here that it just keeps costing effectively 70 quid for the wheel. We can always get 70 quid on the wheel, and the wheel always seems to cost about £70, but that is pushing the machine further and further and further away from its target percentage of 84%. You can see now it's just knocking on the door of a 97% payout, and this is a compensated AWP with a target percentage of 84%. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just going to have to go again. Okay, this is the 60 to 70 pound block. This is on the next push. I'm truncating these right down now for the video. It's been playing. It's just about tipped over into a fiver. On the last feature, I've 60 odd quid in. It just tipped over into offering a fiver, but beyond that, or before that rather, it was like £2.40, £3 boards, nothing of anything whatsoever. Now that is now 70 quid. It has now taken 70 quid. This is 70 to 75 that we're putting in here now. So let's have a look. And if it doesn't, we're now up to about the most it's charged for it. If it takes 75 without opening up the wheel, that is a new high for it costing to get that wheel open. There's a 4 quid. It's just about tipped over into a game over. So it has now done that 75. So that's 75. Okay, this is 75 to 80. No, nothing there. Okay, so it is now maybe a little bit late in the day, but it is kind of realising, you know what, boys, I really need to clam up here. That's 80 quid in. We are now 80 in. Let's see what this put. Transfer to activate. I don't care. I'm not interested. So, I mean, obviously I can have a fiver cash there. Ooh. Yep, get right. Okay, this looks like it maybe. So that is now, that's 80. This is now 85 quid. And I am trying my best now. I am going to play the features as well as I can. Once I get 60 quid plus base, there's the wheel again.
Deal or no deal?
So, okay, I mean, yes, it is now starting to cost a fair bit more, I guess you could say. What have we got there? Tenner. That was like 80, I think it was about £83, £84 of credit. In fact, it was actually £84 of credits played. Because I've still got, because the way the meters are done here, because the meters take account for transfers and that kind of thing. So my in there is the actual credits that I've played. That -1 is actually what I've still got in the bank. So it's taken 84 quid now to open the wheel. So I was just starting to wonder if there was something in the code that says, you know, always offer the deal wheel feature for, you know, a maximum of £70 or £75 or whatever it may be. But it is demonstrating here that it is prepared to cost more than that. So there's a £15 one. I mean, I'm surprised in a way that it isn't just throwing a bankrupt in on every single spin to give itself the maximum opportunity to kill me. Oh, there you go. I've got another 5, 7 or 5 there. So it's not even just giving me like three really bad ones, or what I would expect it to do, frankly, is 2 really bad ones and a bankrupt on every single spin, but it isn't doing it. So it does suggest that there is a, you know, the deal wheel feature is uncontrolled to an extent. I mean, the big draw of the deal or no deal machines, of course, was on the earlier ones, was that your box was random or semi-random. So if you could get the thing dealing and just keep getting through enough deal games, it would be, you know, eventually it'll put £70 in the box because it was random or semi-random. Whereas your, let's say your betcons that have a deal or no deal feature, just control it so tightly that the value of the game is just always the same as the value of the rest of the machine. The big draw on the deal or no deals, of course, was that they didn't do that. Now, there does seem to be an element of that going on with the deal wheel as well. In that, yes, you know, if you're bold enough and lucky enough, you could take every single one out to a jackpot. So there we are. It's just about got itself back on percentage on that one there, hasn't it? Let's just see exactly. I think that will be about 84% there. So we ascertained very early on in the piece, I think, that this wasn't an emptier. It became clear that this would not be an emptier because it's no use to us as a player if all we are doing is getting our money back. There's no point in that. What I then carried on for was I was curious to see if the machine would just keep offering deal wheel at the at the £70-ish mark, but what we saw there is that it is prepared to cost more, and that was 85 in for 70 out, so we have lost 15 on that. And then I guess if we were being super diligent about this, we'd do one more, but I think we've done enough there, and I'm aware this video's already going on far too long. I think we've ascertained that the machine can control itself when it needs to, and it is prepared to start increasing the cost of the deal wheel feature when its back's really against the wall. It can say, you know what, I'm not opening that for 85 quid that we've seen there. So it is going to start and it has actually gone slightly under there, so it was paying out 82.3% on that run, so it is now under its percentage. So it has clawed back, albeit very slightly. It's only clawed back £1.40, but it has now clawed back a little bit into its pot. So that says to me that over time it will be able to control itself. There we go. That went on for far longer than I was anticipating. I've actually ended up going round 7 times there. I didn't think I would do that, so I will wrap this one up because it's begun an hour and 10 minutes already. So just a little bit of fun. It was just a little bit of a curiosity on my part. It wasn't supposed to be demonstrating anything per se. I was just interested to see what would happen if you could see the deal wheel like that when you were making your choices. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time. But for now, goodbye.